Hey, how's it going guys? ZDEyE here. So today I wanted to share my thoughts on the Ubisoft Forward showcase that recently happened. So unfortunately I want to mention that the things I will not be talking about, they're just simply not interesting to me, but I will mention a few of the games that definitely, at least somewhat interested me. So one of the first games that showcased was the Rainbow Six Extraction. It does look very actually intriguing personally to me, but yet again I'm not too sure if it is for me, the game, okay? The game doesn't seem like it's more of a solo based gameplay that it supports. Yes, I know it's been announced that you can indeed play the solo, but I think this game is perhaps probably for the rest, like as a group based gameplay. And I mean, this is what was concentrated, and I already know that Rainbow Six Siege and this kind of a game that always is best with friends and with somebody else to be playing or being a part of. Personally, for me, that's just not my cup of tea. I personally like to be having a solo experience. But everything that I've seen and also a few gameplays that has been uploaded for this game, Rainbow Six Extraction, now that looked kind of interesting to me, and I don't know how it will be for solo experiences people like myself, if it will be one of those like, oh yes, definitely I want to be picking it up, if it's going to be like worth playing by yourself, the kind of game, then yeah, I actually will be sort of interested of picking it up, but at the moment I am not too sure. This is one of the weird ones, but I'm not too sure if this is actually should be taken as a negative. But Far Cry 6 actually have been showcased and like a beginning cutscene what will be happening in the game. Isn't me, but that cutscene looks very rough. Like, I'm not too sure what the hell happened. Maybe Antonio, he looks a little bit off. I'm not too sure what's going on there. He looks kind of bad. The facial expressions looks bad, looks kind of outdated. Maybe that's the way Ubisoft wanted it to be going with, the developers. But I don't think this looks very good. It looks very rough on all the edges, and I don't know if I particularly like this. I'm not sure, maybe you guys felt the same, maybe not. But personally for myself, no, this did not look that good, and I'm not too sure who would say this looks fantastic. I don't think this looks great at all. I think it looks very rough around the edges. Now, the presentation is fantastic, the voice acting is fantastic, the story and how everything develops, I really like it. And I mean, I think they kind of spoiled a little bit what actually happens and the relationship between the father and Diego. I think that might have been could have been kept as a secret a little bit longer, and for us to experience it for ourselves to actually understand their relationship between. But now it's kind of ruined in a lot of ways. I think they should have just kept it back. Maybe they should have showcased something else entirely. I don't know, of course. But again, the facial animations and facial expressions, they look a little rough, and especially on Antonio. Maybe because he's got so many wrinkles or stuff like that. In real life, he doesn't look like this at all. Like, he looks fantastic comparing this to here. But I don't know. Also, in the continued conversation of Far Cry 6, they have also announced that there will be a season pass, right? Well, typical. Will include one of the new expansions where players can actually play as one of the villains from Far Cry 3, 4, and 5. Now that is actually a pretty cool idea. They also touched on the Blood Dragons or something like that, a DLC that was very, very popular in Far Cry 3. I don't know what any of this will actually entail or mean. Unfortunately, we have gotten no information. Just that it's going to be happening, and that's it. They showcase the title, the little teases. But what is it? Is it VR? Is it first person? Is it like a pure Far Cry game? Is it going to be like a DLC concentrated on each and every individual enemies? Well, the villains that we will be able to get a chance of playing as. I don't know. This doesn't make much sense to me, at least personally. And, this is exactly what I mean. This showcase overall, and let me give you a little, thoughts on that. It was all over the place. I feel like I was just I left, the showcase more confused than excited. That's an issue. That's an issue, I personally think. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, so obviously I'm not gonna, skip on this game, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Personally, for me, I didn't really enjoy it, even though I got a platinum trophy on the game. And I mean, I played the game for its being as an Assassin's Creed because I always liked Assassin's Creeds. But Valhalla was a complete disappointment comparing that with Odyssey or Origins or many other. Like, it's in a similar vein as, like, I'm not sure, Syndicate or Unity. Well, Unity, that's a little far-fetched, especially considering the launch of that game. But again, Unity is a great game now after all the bugs and fixes, and by far, Valhalla, personally for me, is just grind, boring fest. It's fucking really repetitive. But yet they mentioned that what's the interesting part I want to touch on Valhalla. It's been talked that there will be an expansion coming in 2021, obviously this year, and also a few more expansions will be happening in 2022 as well. So this raises a question: will there be actually a new Assassin's Creed game coming in 2022 now? Or perhaps will it be in 2023 instead? Now, it is possible that they may release the next Assassin's Creed in early of 2023, but I seriously doubt that. Why? Because I think they want to have a physical year, during the holidays. That's usually when they are going to get all their money's worth. That this is why Assassin's Creed, it is their actually more popular franchise. So obviously they're going to make sure that they release it during the holiday season, and that will be during the fall of, well, it depends on the year that they want to release the game. So if they're not going to be releasing in fall of 2022, I think they might be releasing in fall 2023. God, that's going to be 2 gap years from no Assassin's Creed now, so it's going to be longer than previously. I mean, if that's the case, if that's what they want to do, go ahead, more power to them. And I hope they make a fantastic Assassin's Creed game that at least is not going to be grime fest, boring fest, repetitive as hell, just bloody Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I apologize about the sniffles. Sometimes maybe my voice has changed as well. For some reason I'm getting a nose, like my nose is running a little bit. I apologize. I may sound a little bit different too. Okay, so one last game that was introduced at the very end of the showcase is the new Avatar game. I'm not too sure about this game. The reason is because they obviously haven't really touched on it too much. In fact, they haven't shown any gameplay. All they showed was bloody CGI and that's it. And I mean, a lot of people say, well, this would make sense what it is trying to do. Like, basically humans are bad, avatars are good, and like leave them alone so they can live their lives. Again, that doesn't really tell us much, to be honest with you. But still, they have actually announced and confirmed that that this Avatar game will be a first-person perspective. And that reason alone, because an Avatar game, dude, the Avatar game is obviously should have been a third-person perspective. You want to see your avatar. Bloody, the name is in the definition. And yet, the Avatar, like, we get to play as a first-person perspective. I mean, that's just dwindled by, anticipation for this game. And on top of this, if you guys do not know, it's been developed by a Massive Entertainment, or I think that basically the guys who made the Division games, the Division 1 and 2. So if you're expecting big things out of this Avatar game, well, you got another thing coming. To be honest with you, don't expect big things out of this game. If it's gonna be the same, it's gonna be something that's similar to the veins of the Division 2, perhaps maybe not RPG-like, or light, I should say, right? But again, it's been announced and confirmed that it's going to be an open world, it's going to be first-person perspective. Open world, I don't really mind. I understand a lot of people hate Ubisoft open world games, but Avatar game being a first-person perspective, that's already minus. Avatar game being developed by people that usually, make RPGs such as the Division 2, that's already again a minus. An open world game, a Ubisoft game, mind you, that's yet another minus. Look, I don't see this game being any great, or at least that great. But again, I could be wrong, because we already have known that this game, Avatar game, has been in development for about 5 years. So I could be completely proven wrong in here too. And it's been announced that it's coming in 2022. I personally think that's going to be coming out in fall of 2022. This is why I also predict that Assassin's Creed, the next Assassin's Creed, is not going to be happening in fall of 2022. It is very possible, but again, I don't know what to expect from this game. I hope it's gonna be great, and I hope it's gonna have like a story-related, fantastic. I think actually be gripped into the story. But yet again, Ubisoft, Massive, and also first-person perspective, it just doesn't do wonders. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I hate first-person perspective games. I'm not saying that. The other factors are here that just it doesn't give me very entertained for this game or intrigued as well. Okay, so Again, I don't have anything against first person. Personally, I like third person, that's why I'm mentioning it. But for an Avatar game, it would have made more sense to have a third person perspective. Again, that's just my opinion, of course. Well, that was it, basically. Yes, I know, like I said at the beginning with the commentary, there were a few more, announcements like the next Rabbids game. Again, I'm not interested in anything else that they have talked about, as well as some guitar game as well. What the hell, 5 minutes length of like presentation was completely unnecessary in here. They have done an embarrassing job regarding the Ghost Recon Breakpoint. You know, overall, the show was far worse than the summer showcase. And on top of this, by the way, guys, when I'm saying far worse, I mean very bad, because Summer Game Fest show was not good either. The only thing it was actually good because they had a very stellar games that I'm looking forward to. Well, to be personally honest, there was only 2 games I'm definitely looking forward to from the Summer Game Fest. That was the Death Stranding Director's Cut, and lastly, obviously, Elden Ring. And those were literally made the day for me. In here, in Ubisoft Showcase Forward, right? They just didn't do anything for me. Far Cry 6, in fact, actually lowered my expectations for the game because the animations and the cutscene look very rough. The Avatar game doesn't tell me much on top of that because I don't think it was a good choice to go for a first-person perspective, and I know the massive developers are not going to be, are the fantastic choice for this game, and plus it's Ubisoft we're talking about. So, there's always these red flags that kind of keep on popping up, and I'm just like, I'm not too sure what to expect out of this anymore. So yeah, Ubisoft Forward Showcase was worse than the Summer Game Fest, and my god, what the hell happened? Like, I'm serious, I don't remember it was this bad back in, 2020 of E3, when the Ubisoft have been showcasing their games. Again, I hope to be proven wrong, but this showcase was not good. And man, so far, there were 2 big showcases. I know, yes, the Devolver or some studios also have showcase. I'm not going to be talking about them. They have not interesting person for me that they showcased anyway, or did. But yeah, guys, you can definitely expect another video or 2. In fact, well, it will be coming the next day, of course. It's going to be regarding Microsoft and Bethesda, and also Square Enix's show. Alright, that's it. I'm done rambling. It gets a fail. It's just a fail. It's like, I'm not gonna give it a rating. I'm just gonna say it was a failure. If I have to give a rating, god damn it, I'll just give it like a 3 or 4 out of 10. It was not good, the showcase of Ubisoft. Summer Game Fest, by the way, if you're interested, I'll give it like maybe 4 or 5. A little bit higher than the Ubisoft one. Alright, I'm done rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and yeah, have a good one, guys.